runs off and brings... That's Matar, sorry, I'm getting my characters mixed up because we're also suffering technical difficulties on this side, but runs round the shack and is about to go down.
Yeah, no, amazing job so far by the Survivor team. This year actually going to be the first hook so far, and looks like it will be a basement hook, in fact.
Yeah.
Yep, down into the basement they go. A good bit of pressure being applied to make at least two of them survivors are going to have to come down to ensure a safe return. But I would say they will maximize the time on that hook before they do that to try and crank out another gen.
Yeah, I mean, time will only tell. I will say, as I'm taking a quick look around at these generators, we do have a little bit of a 3-gen here on the shack side that the artist can protect, and we see her setting those crows out, trying to do exactly that. However, I think that the survivors do have the opportunity to potentially complete that generator from underneath the artist's nose, as we do see time ticking down on the Jake in the basement.
Yes, I think they're going to try and utilize that time. Has seen a survivor in the distance. It must have been dodging the amount of crows flying over, which sometimes happens when the gen is so far off if you're one side of the map. But
Yeah.
where are the survivors? Are they?
Well,
oh, there we go. We see one on the corner.
I was about to say, I'm sure they're sneaking in bit by bit, and there is the second stage on the Jake in the basement. And we do see the Nia as well trying to get in, but will instead take a hit. And I imagine the artist will commit to this chase, though they need to be wary of that gen, as if it does get completed, they will not have a 3-gen available to them.
Yeah, as he pursues off, leaving in the basement, pursuing Nia to go across. I thought for a stage he was going to force more of the team to come across, considering Nia was injured and wouldn't be able to get a safe basement hook, but we do see them out, and Nia, oh, Squirrel comes out like the hero he is and takes a hit, but Nia is still pursued and goes down, leaping through the window.
Yeah, honestly, really amazing job there by the Atom, taking that body block. However, the artist seeing the opportunity as they were kind of bottlenecked, sending out the dire crows and getting the injured to boot, allowing them to get the down on the Nia as they saw fit.
Yeah, going across, we've seen him go there. I think it's just about, but I mean, really cutting it fine to get across to that particular hook, but sees Squirrel in the distance there.
Yeah, we see these survivors trying to crank out this gen here. Claudette, this time around, has some decent progression to say the least, but we do see that gen highlighted in yellow, and the survivors are keenly aware of the existence of overcharge, so that there is overcharge and eruption. We are seeing the potential tunnel out here on the Nia, though the Atom going to be taking some attention away from them as well. And we see Jake here playing a very dangerous game as they are actually on death hook.
They're very huddled together. It's going to make it easy pickings for Blonick. Again, Squirrel protecting to avoid their teammate being tunneled out of the game, but then breaks chase and goes for someone new as Claudette takes a bat whack around the back of the head. They think has gone back towards that gens to protect that 3-gen that they're hopefully going to end on.
Yeah, they are trying their best to protect it here with that overcharge and eruption. However, these survivors not deterred. We see them on the killer instinct going back to the gen. The artist kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here, as Nia also just committing to this gen here bit by bit. And I do fear for the artist, as I think their 3-gen is about to be broken.
Yeah, I agree. I think the time spent protecting that, and Iconic doing well to be committed to break that, showing respect for this killer, which is a good call out from them, but we see it broken there as that gen does, and pursuing as Jake comes in to block. They've got some really good skills in protecting their teammates and blocking that we've seen that we didn't see from Tribute in the first set.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will see Jake take the hit there, spreading some pressure, though they need to be careful now as it is a 2-2 split. We saw Jake's gen earlier, very well progressed. I imagine that the survivors are going to jump on that opportunity soon and complete it within the next few moments.
Yeah, absolutely. Applying that pressure again to Blonick really needs to get someone on hook and out of the game. 4th gen done there. Gen's easily spread across the map, but Jake is going to go down. And I think, is that his death hook?
That
I
is
think it
correct.
is.
Jake is being sent back to Giltspire via the entity, as they did progress the second stage earlier in the basement. And that there is a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, as we do see that damage generator score marker there in the distance.
Absolutely. Now he just needs to make sure that that last gen doesn't get done, because that will put a lot of pressure on Tribute survivors when all they need to do is get 5 gens to win that set. But I'm pretty sure that Iconic will get this last gen cranked out, considering the gen positions are so far away from each other.
Yeah,
But sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's going to be a very uphill battle here, and I'm wondering if this is the right gen set to protect. Trying to figure out where the exit gates are, but a really good hit there with the Dire Crows.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was about to comment on Crow Mummy herself. The fact that that gen is so far away, she almost can protect it with her crows to see if they are working on it, and must feel confident that the survivors are more this side of the map. But that would be a dangerous assumption. Oh no, it's already gone. Caster's curse. Once you say it, it happens.
I was about to say, and we do see one exit gate over here, though it looks like the exit gates might be split. We also did see an adrenaline there from the Claudette, who was already injured, no longer, and looks like the artist is going to be trying to go for them. They have yet to be hooked at all, so this would be a huge down if they are able to do so. And Claudette trying desperately to stay out of the line of sight of the artist. Artist unable to get the down, though, with the Dire Crow, and I imagine survivors on the exit gate nearby or a body block incoming.
Yep, I'd say the squad is coming, but no, she's gone down there. And you're right, the fresh hook going on is really vital and alleviates a little bit of pressure if he can protect that from being saved.
Yeah,
on she goes.
We see the hook there. Nia around Adam as well. Probably going to be working on the X gate in the distance. Nia kind of setting up threatening for the unhook while Adam is on the exit gate prompting for the escape. And I think that this is going to come down to the wire and to how these survivors and killers play around the potential unhook. It is going to be quite interesting, to say the least, as survivors here are going to open up the exit gate, I think, and go for the unhook for the 3-man out.
Yeah, they're definitely going to come back to ensure them points to alleviate that pressure, and they must feel confident they can do this. This would be a standard practice, I would say, in scrims. And there goes Captain. Oh no, just slightly off. And overzealous from Blonick. I think that was a mistake. He should have just waited a second. But that is not what he wanted to see.
Yeah, I would tend to agree there, especially as Adam did get that unhook there. And we are going to be in a bit of a chase as the survivors are going to try and set up for a heal, I imagine. Artist, though, trying to box the Adam out and get the down with the Dire Crows. However, it's taking a bit of time to recharge, and they will not be able to make it happen as Adam does get rid of the Dire Crows. We see him on the other end of that window. Survivor's going to be healing in the exit gate, I imagine. It is going to be a dangerous situation indeed, as they are going to commit to that heal. There is the Dire Crow out. No down, though, and no sign of Adam, as they are going to try and make their way to the exit gate.
Blocks
Nia
him
coming
at the pass.
There's the entry on the Nia. Adam caught out.
Sorry, I was getting too excited, but pursuing the captain, covered in crows, goes down. And why we're excited? Because that is a fresh hook. Now he's going to force them out to ensure that he gets them.
Yep, I think this is the right move. Force them out of the exit gate. That will guarantee the kill, even with a deliverance in play. And EGC also ticking on down. That being said, honestly, not a bad result here from Tribute. That there will be a 2K8 hook here at the very end, as they will get Adam, who was also fresh hook. So with that being said, I think this does put Tribute Survivor team in a decent position, as they'll just need to get a 2-man out with 7 hooks. If they're able to do that, they will secure victory for set number 2.
Man's got quick maths. Do you think it was a mistake, them going back that time for Claudette on the fresh hook? It's almost worked out worse for them.
Yeah, I think that there's a bit of give and take. I think they weren't expecting the artist to take that swing on the Neo when they did. And because of that, it resulted in a 1-for-1 exchange. And so definitely a bit of a interesting scenario, something that you don't see all too often. But nonetheless, really amazing job by both sides. And with that being said, we are going to switch sides this time. Iconic taking the Twins against Tribute's Survivor team. But before we do go, we are going to go on a quick break and want to remind y'all today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. So that as they watch, all the bits they tip, all the subs they buy, and of course all the Rogue Energy you buy using the code COTF goes to supporting Champs of the Fog and our prize pools for Group A and Group B. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back for what could be the final trial of this match in semifinals number 1, Iconic versus Tribute, and we got Iconic's Twins versus Tribute Survivor Team. You have some feelings about the Twins, Pug, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't realize we were going to talk about it live on stream. I mean, I do love the concept of twins, but sometimes the games can just go on so long and so boring. But look, you can get quick twins games. Let's see what it is. But we know this is going to be a close game. So I don't think they're going to take any risks on Iconic side or on Tribute side. So this could go on some time. But let's hope that it is thrilling none the same as we see Squirrel searching and finding scratch marks for their first survivor.
Yeah, I mean, Twins, we've seen time and time again be a little bit of a lengthy match, especially towards the end game here on Silver Pit as well with these 3-4 gens. I'm expecting the Twins to play very conservatively when they're able to. But here at the start of the match, we will see Victor come out and ready to play as they are going to try and chase down the Atom Heap.
But I do find the mechanics of Victor very funny in regards to the concept of the twins. It's just the concept of the game. Now, one's hiding in the locker as we see Claudette take the hits there, protecting the person in the locker as runs off as Charlotte pegs it, or as we say, slowly trudges across the field to try and catch up with them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really good play there by the survivors as they were able to stop the Twins from getting the locker grab and, you know, taking Victor away as a potential tool for the Twins here. So it's really going to come down to if these survivors are able to outmaneuver the Twins, as 2 are currently injured, 1 currently unable to work on gens as Claudia is currently still has Victor on their back, stopping them from doing much of anything.
Yeah, and we see a cheeky slap down with a pallet, but breaks chase and ignores them and goes back onto the gen. Squirrel is playing it patiently and doesn't do things rashly, and is going back on the protection and trying to find them injuries to try and maybe slow ball 2 of them to get down. But no, we have found Owly, the captain, who now takes Victor for a ride.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. You know, Twins here are going to be taking things really conservatively, wanting to protect their 3-gen when able, and really only commit to chases that they know for a fact they're able to get the down. And we do see the chase here on the Zarina here at Shack. We do see a killer instinct as well, 2 in fact, telling that there is a bit of a heal party here.
And who doesn't like a hill party in Shack? That's our kind of Saturday nights. But that's probably for a different stream. So as we see Adam running off, being pursued by Charlotte, we could start seeing that snowball down, but no, Owly seems to have gone far away over the other side of the map as Air is now about to be placed on the hook.
Yeah, I want to point out really cheeky mind game there from the Twins, doing that 360 there, trying to throw the Atom off and successfully doing so, as they will be the first on hook for this match. Once again, Survivors trying desperately to heal up here, but unable to do so in time as Zarina still injured, though Victor, unable to get the pounce, will end up getting kicked.
Ice gives him a swift kick, but Zarina's still in trouble here, and I'm not quite sure why they insist on hanging around when Ace was distracting and sucking up the time. This is a dangerous mistake for Tribute, I feel, but no, with that was an important miss that may cost them, but Zarina's still hanging around.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, unfortunately, the kick on Vic actually may have played against their favor, as it did give Victor back to Charlotte pretty quickly, meaning that the Zarina just unable to get much of anywhere, and we see them going down, and it looks like Twins trying to get a pounce as well to ensure there's at least 2, if not more, survivors off of gens.
Yeah, ideally you want most of them to be injured to snowball that effect from a killer, but the survivors doing well to get away, heal each other, but no gens are being done. And we saw this from the first set when they went up against the slowness to get them gens cranked up or keep them objectives or that gen pressure going, making it easy for Squirrel to basically dominate them in the long run.
Yeah, and we see Victor coming out once again, trying to slow things down. However, Survivors will successfully get the first gen done, as Victor does prowl around, trying to find where this sneaky Survivor might be. Do you want to note there, in the distance, we do see a gen highlighted in yellow, regressing quite quickly, that there is, in fact, a Call of Brine.
Yep, it's interesting. Both the squad are now coming in to try and get that unhook. The slap goes down. We're going to see a hook trade here as Adam now goes down to protect that teammate. But 3 of the survivors are here. Hopefully the 4th is on a gen.
Yeah, honestly, a bit of a misplay there, I want to say, by the Survivors. We did not see that BT hit attempt for the Adam to slow things down and extend the chase, but we will see them back on that gen once again shortly, as Ace will take Vic once again. And honestly, Survivors are trying desperately to break into this 3-gen and really just make things difficult for the Twins. However, the Twins really just dominating here, as they are going to be stopping them left and right. Twins and Victor and Charlotte working in tandem.
And now we see Victor on the hunt. The whole squad is injured. We could see this snowball into a slugfest. As we see Ace, every hit will be important as he tries to search for the other 2 to really take the game and make this a quick Twins game, contradicting what he was saying earlier.
Yeah, honestly, this is where Twins really does shine when everyone is injured. We do note that Claudette has been healed, probably alongside the Zarina, who will get healed here in just a moment. And as a reminder, we do want to note that the win condition for these Survivors is a 2-man with 7 hooks total. So if they're able to do that or better, they will secure the win for set number 2 and force a set number 3. Though things are looking quite grim here, as S still on hook with barely 5-10 seconds left before they are sent back to the campfire via the entity.
Absolutely. We're going to see Air progress out. Kuro is down. Owly is injured. Really tough spot for Tribute to be in. I think this is going to make it easy for Iconic, but again, we've seen things, strange and random things happen in DBD. We can't say anything until the entity sings.
Indeed, indeed, but we will see Kiro up on the hook. That there is the Ace. They are fresh. In the instance, let's just say theoretically, the Twins here camps them out to death. That'll be the 2K7 hook there alone. That is the win condition for these Survivors. If after that point, the Twins does get another hook, that will secure the victory for Iconic in this match. So I think Twins here kind of realizing that too, just going to leave Victor on the other side of the map, kind of pressuring these Survivors, protects their 3 gens, gets them down from the far, but looks like a deliverance in play as Ace is off the hook and broken.
Absolutely. I think he's playing right into Squirrel's hands. He knows what he needs to do to get this win. He's doing it comfortably, executing well, is using the combination between themselves and Victor expertly. This is really good play from Squirrel as we now in chase with Ace again.
Yeah, and actually, that was surprising. That is not a deliverance. That was once again a renewal. Surprisingly enough, I was not expecting Survivors to actually be over there and getting the unhook, but sure enough, the Claudette did take that opportunity to do so, and Ace here now freshly healed and in chase.
Absolutely, we can see, but leaves, focusing back on the gens, securing that win. We thought it was going to be close, but I'm going to find it hard to see how Tribute are going to come back from this.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to say the least. Like we said, it's going to be a 2K7 hook. So they right now have 2 hooks to give. Claudette cannot be found by any means. Zarina here, though, could theoretically be killed and things still to be okay for the Survivor team.
There's the gen. Keep that pressure on, but as we see, as their captain now gets dragged off and placed on a hook. Gilt, what would you bet on right now?
I mean, right now, things are looking really good for Iconic's team here. At the end of the day, these Survivors can only give up another hook. So unless they have 3 gens primed and ready to pop off here, I just do not see it happening, but you never know. I will point out they did break into that 3-gen, completing one of those gens. Ace, though, getting found out here that early is not a good sign, as it looks like Twins is pretty much going to just sit here in front of this hook and get the Zarina out of this match.
Absolutely, and as we know that if Zarina fully dies out, I think that's the win for Iconic then, Guild, right?
Not just yet. It'll be pretty close. It'll be that 2K7 hook, like I was saying earlier, and once Iconic reaches the 2K8 hook win condition, that'll be that. Ace, though, going down, and Ace is also going to be that winning factor unless they're able to get the unhook on the Zarina, which they successfully do right behind the Twins.
That was cheeky, just in the nick of time. That literally must have been half a second between getting the unhook and then disappearing into the entity. But yeah, some good play. It's not over yet.
Yeah, it is close, but like you said, not over until the entity sings. We do see the Ace there, and at this point in time, if they were to camp out Ace to death, that will secure victory for Iconic here. And so I think that's exactly what Iconic plans to do. Victor here guarding the pallet, ensuring that they cannot get that pallet drop for the save. And here is the second hook for Ace. If he dies on hook at this point in time, it is game over for Tribute, and Iconic will be moving to the finals of Group B.
And no surprise, but I wonder if Squirrel knows that, because he seems to have left Ace. You'd think to secure that win, you'd go back and camp that out, just to be sure, as we see Claudette. But Victor taking her out, maybe it was to draw them in.
Yeah,
but no, Ace is off.
I mean, both situations are kind of bad for these survivors. Claudette is fresh, Ace is on death. Looks like they are going to go for the Tula after all. There's BT out of the match. And it could just be that the Twins is confident at this point that they can get the win one way or another. Everyone's injured. 3 gens left, now 2. And so it comes down to them just needing to get one more down, and that's the game.
Yep, tough, but as we said, anything can happen. Imagine they managed to get 2 gens out and avoid being hooked. I can't see it, considering how Squirrel's been playing, but anything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely nothing's outside the realm of possibility, though. Ace getting a little bit mind game there, losing a lot of distance, and we are now at this filler tile where looks like Twins is going to fake break, and looks like Ace will not fall for it, getting a little bit of extra distance, and we are at Chase in main, though resources have been thinned out quite significantly, and looks like Ace will go down.
And down to the basement he will go. As he takes, oh no, it's not there, my mistake. I'm really off today, but this is it, the final hook that will see Iconic secure themselves into the final as Ace dies and goes off. But what a valiant game that Tribute has put up to a really skillful Iconic team from both Survivors and Killer. They have played incredibly well this evening.
Yeah. Absolutely. Both teams played very well, but GG, well played to both teams, and congratulations to Iconic, who has officially taken the victory for set number 2, as they will be moved into the finals. And looks like a cheeky Claudette there in the locker, but they will end up taking Victor nonetheless, as they were trying desperately not to get found by the Twins. And it all comes down to this. At this point in time, Survivors are playing for their own pride, as Claudette here now in chase with the Twins.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd like to thank Tribute for playing so well throughout the league in Division B2. They've really put up a good fight here, and it's been enjoyable to watch them progress and develop as a team that was only really created for this tournament from players that were particularly new to comp as well. So they've done a good job and created some good entertainment. But however, we see Victor lock in Claudette as she will be about to be sacrificed downstairs.
Yep, that there will be a hook in the basement. Mind you, Claudette has yet to be hooked thus far, so there is a potential for a deliverance here. We saw renewal earlier, no deliverance used thus far in the match. However, the question is, where is the Zarina? As we do see Crows come back there in the distance. Zarina could be over there on that hill gen, in fact.
just trying to crank out the points to keep them as close together as they possibly can. As you said, fighting for honor in this final game as they know the game is up. Or could be just hiding and doing a dramatic hatch escape. But as you said, there could be a deliverance play come out of play here. There's so many different possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of tools still available to these survivors. I mean, there's a lot of time before the Claudette in basement does get sent back to the campfire via the entity. And so we could see a gen or two pop off here. I mean, I will give credit where credit's due to these survivors. They did break the 3 gen that the Twins has, and we do see kind of that 2-1 split here. Over on this side. Actually, it's kind of like it's almost like a 2-1-1 split. We have 2 here on Shaq's side, and then 1 really awkwardly split there on the main side. But we do see the Claudette move on to second stage. As far as exit gates are concerned, I don't see any over here, which could mean that the Zarina might be going for an exit gate escape off the suicide.
And what a good finish for Tribute that would be if they can get their captain out alive as we see their third player progress on. But where they're going to be, we know they're not going to make it into hatch. Now the caster's curse is going to come out now. They're just going to dive and go through hatch. No, hatch is closed. So, oh, there was an alert over there.
Yep, you know what that means, and so do I. That there is a no way out. And a fully stacked one at that. That is a full 60 seconds on the clock that this survivor cannot attempt to open the exit gates. So that means that they are in a bit of a pickle here as EGC ticking on down. Once No Way Out activates, they'll only have 60 seconds to escape via the X gates, and X gates take 20 seconds as well, meaning that they really only have 40 seconds to spare.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Tribute. Nothing seems to have been going their way this evening, but you never know. Owly could pull something out the bag as Victor is trying to pursue and find any hint of where Owly may be hiding. We know he started off on that side. Maybe they made their way over, but has good coverage from one to the other. I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, we see Victor setting up there. Try and keep an eye on that exit gate. Charlotte over here on this side, really making it impossible for the Arena here to escape. And we just kind of see that switch back and forth as No Way Out has since expired. And EGC with only 30 seconds on the clock. Unfortunately, at this point in time, I do not think there is any way out for Tribute to get the exit gate escape. Now, that being said, Iconic will end this trial with another 4K.
And well-deserved. Squirrel has played fantastically as both Spirit and Twins. Deserves the 4K. As you said, there really is no way out, and they really did that and benefited from this perk. But Owly, even if he's on the other side of the gate, is not going to be able to get out in time.
Unfortunately not. We hear screams to the distance as EGC ends, and if that being said, so too does this match. And if that being said, congratulations to Iconic for taking the match and moving on to finals. And GG, well played to Tribute. You guys will be moving to the bronze match, so you're not out of the fog just yet. With that being said, though, that there will be the end of this match here, and we are going to have another one in just 39 minutes. So don't go anywhere, as we are going to be seeing Chronicles versus Prophecy, and I promise it is going to be a very spicy match indeed. Are you excited?
I am. I love a bit of spice, especially on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to it.
So with that being said, before we do go, we do want to remind everyone here today that we are partnered with Pugdom. If you're wondering where the Pug King himself has come down to grace us from, that is their Dead by Daylight community, and they are very similar to ours as well, where they do host competitive events, tournaments, and more. So that being said, make sure to stop on by, say hi, drop a follow, as they'll be hosting the entirety of Group B for Season 6 coming this February. With that being said, we'll be back in just 28 minutes. We'll see you soon.
See you then.